So, today marks the end of our marriage contract, right?
Yeah, that's right. It felt long yet short at the same time.
According to the contract, our scheduled time is up. I don't feel anything in particular.
Divorce papers lie on the table. For 3 years, they lived like strangers without interfering in each other's lives. Today, at last, that relationship comes to an end.
Ms. Arisugawa, don't you feel anything at all?
Feel anything about what?
No, I mean, about these 3 years we've spent together.
It was just a contract.
Mayu, 25, speaks in her usual emotionless tone. No change in her voice. That was exactly how she'd been for the past 3 years. Masahiro, 27, glances at the divorce papers in front of him and remembers the events of 3 years ago. Negotiations for a corporate merger were underway. Masahiro's father, Kosei Shimazaki, and Mayu's father, Toshiya Arisugawa, were ironing out the conditions for merging their two companies.
To solidify trust between our families, let's have my son and your daughter marry.
It'll just be a formality, a 3-year contract marriage. Once the period ends, they're free to go their separate ways.
You've got to be kidding me. I have no desire for such a marriage.
You have no choice. This is for the future of the company.
Are you seriously going through with this?
Masahiro tried to argue with his father, but there was nothing he could do. Meanwhile, Mayu sat quietly, speaking in an emotionless voice.
Understood.
Are you really okay with that?
It's a contract.
From that moment on, she didn't change at all. Returning to the present, Masahiro looks at Mayu before him.
So, Ms. Arisugawa, you really didn't feel a thing from the start, did you?
That's correct.
Her expression shows no sign of change. She simply stares silently at the divorce papers.
Should we get the paperwork done today?
Yes, I'd like to wrap it up as soon as possible.
Thus ends their 3-year marriage of silence. Masahiro quietly exhales and picks up the divorce papers. Telling himself this is the last step, he leaves the house. He arrives at City Hall and files the divorce papers. That completes the process. Just one piece of paper, and with that, their relationship is entirely dissolved. It was just a contract, so that should have been fine. Yet, after leaving City Hall, Masahiro feels a strange sense of loss.
Yeah, it's really over.
Around midday, Masahiro finishes the formalities and heads straight home. They had never talked much during their marriage. He assumed nothing would change, even if she left. He turns the key and opens the door. Something feels different.